I was really bad, Paula.
Why? What happened?
They did not accept my certification
But why?
because I made a Duolingo certification. Look at this. It's almost perfect. I even performed as a duo.
Imagine spending time, effort, and money preparing for an English test only to find out that your job application was rejected because the certificate you submitted wasn't accepted. Well, this could easily happen if you choose the wrong test for your goals. So, how can you avoid this? In this presentation, we will help you understand the key differences between the IELTS, Duolingo English test, and occupational English test, so you can make the right choice depending on whether you're applying to a university, a job, or for immigration. So, without further ado, let's start.
Well, let me recommend to you the best test in the world, the IELTS test. This test stands for the International English Language Testing System. It is designed to assess the English language proficiency of individuals who want to study, work, or migrate to an English-speaking environment. IELTS is widely accepted in over 140 countries by more than 11,000 organizations, including universities, immigration departments, and professional bodies. It is often required for academic admission, work permits, and resident visas in the countries like the UK, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. So that's why this can be the best option for you.
Now let's talk about the Duolingo English test, which is a modern and innovative language proficiency exam designed to provide a flexible alternative to traditional standardized tests. Unlike other exams, it is entirely online, which means you can take it from the comfort of your home using just a computer and internet connection. The test has gained significant popularity in recent years and is now accepted by over 4,000 institutions worldwide, including top universities in the United States, Canada, and Europe. This growing acceptability has made it viable choice for students and professionals seeking to demonstrate their English proficiency.
Well, let me introduce you to the best test if you are a healthcare professional aiming to work abroad, the OET or Occupational English Test. This exam is specifically designed to assess the English language skills of healthcare workers in real clinical experience. Okay, now the OET is recognized in countries such as the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, Singapore, and even parts of Canada. It's a trusted option for registration and employment in the healthcare sector.
One of the biggest differences is their global recognition. IELTS is accepted by over 11,000 institutions worldwide, including for immigration, work, and study, while Duolingo is mainly accepted for university admissions, but not for visas or professional jobs as we saw in the first example. And the OET is only accepted in the healthcare sector in countries like Australia, the UK, and New Zealand. So, IELTS has the widest reach, Duolingo is growing fast but more limited, and the OET is highly specific.
IELTS evaluates 4 language skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. There are 2 test versions: IELTS Academic for those entering higher education or professional registration, and IELTS General Training for work experience, training programs, or migration purposes. So now, what can you find in every session? Let's see. In the listening part, answering questions based on audio recordings or conversations and monologues. In the reading part, you will find multiple choice and matching tasks based on passage from books, magazine, or newspaper. In the writing part, you have to describe graphs or writing essays in the academic test, and in the general training, you will write letters or short essays. In the speaking part, you will have a face-to-face interview, including short questions, long turns, and a discussion. well.
And one of the standout features of the English Duolingo test is the structure. It is shorter than most traditional exams, lasting only about 1 hour. The test uses adaptive technology, which means the difficulty of questions is adjusted to your ability. This ensures that the best efficient is tailored to accurately measure your skills, and it assesses the 4 core language skills: reading, speaking, writing, and listening. The tasks include those skills and answering comprehension questions. And for instance, one common task requires you to listen to a sentence and then type what you heard, which tests both your listening and your writing accuracy. And it happens with all these skills.
Now, what's the test like? The OET evaluates 4 main skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking, all within a medical context. Listening, about 45 minutes, you will hear consultations and healthcare lectures. Reading, 60 minutes, you will work with professional texts like research articles or patient guidelines. And for another part, writing, 45 minutes, you will be asked to write referral or discharge letters based on clinical case notes. And speaking, about 20 minutes, and through role plays, you will interact with an interviewer, acting as a patient or carrier. What makes OET special? Every task reflects real scenarios healthcare professionals face. So you are not just tested on English, but on how well you communicate in your field.
So, the main difference here is that IELTS and Duolingo use general English, while the OET uses medical English in real-life situations.
Each session is scored on a band scale from 0 to 9, and academic institutions require a minimum of 6.5 to 7.0, and the results are valid for 2 years. The IELTS test typically costs around $250, and this is the price. Well,
The scoring system range from 10 to 160. The scores align with the common European framework of reference. For example, a score of 120 typically corresponds to a C1 level, which indicates advanced proficiency. This alignment makes it easier for institutions to understand the candidate language ability. Another appealing aspect of the Duolingo test is the affordability. At a cost of $59, it is significantly cheaper than exams like TOEFL or IELTS, which offer costs over $200. Additionally, the convenience factor cannot be overstated.
Scoring is done from A highest or from A highest to E lowest, and most medical councils require at least a B in each skill. Results are usually released within 2 to 3 weeks. They cost around $500 and $400 USD, depending on your location. It's a big price, but it's valuable investment for licensing and employment abroad.
Now let's talk about advantages and disadvantages. An advantage, globally recognized and trusted. This offers both academic and general formats, and is available in paper-based, computer-based, and some online formats. Now, and disadvantage is relatively expensive. I have to accept that. The time-consuming and may cause anxiety due to face-to-face speaking components. That's bad. And requires travel to an official center unless qualified for online version. And comparing to Duolingo English test, IELTS is more established and universally recognized. DET is shorter, cheaper, and taken completely online, but it lacks full of acceptance, especially for immigration. And in contrast to the occupational English test, which is tailored for healthcare professionals, IELTS offers a broader range of application for both academic and general purposes, making it more versatile. So, choose this option and I promise that it is the best.
Well, making it is an excellent choice for those who need quick certification. These features make particularly attractive to individuals from diverse backgrounds, especially those who may not have easy access to traditional test centers for the financial means to pay for more expensive exams. However, the test is not without its drawbacks. While its acceptability is growing, it is still not a widely recognized additional exams like TOEFL or IELTS, particularly among certain universities. Additionally, some critics point out that the lack of a live speaking component could limit a depth evaluation for spoken language proficiency. Despite these limitations, the Duolingo test remains innovative and accessible option for many people. Well, the Duolingo English test represents a significant step forward in language assessment because the cost, the adaptability, the convenience, and the fresh approach to testing, meeting the needs of globalized and fast-paced world. It is an excellent option for candidates who value efficiency, flexibility, and of course, affordability.
The adventures, therefore, healthcare professionals use real-life clinical tasks and widely accepted for professional registration. Disadvantage: more expensive than general tests like IELTS or Duolingo, require focused preparation in medical English. Compared to other tests, OET has a clear advantage if you work in healthcare, while IELTS is more general and widely accepted for study or immigration. It doesn't cover medical specific scenarios. The Duolingo English test is cheaper and faster, but it's really accepted for professional licensing. So, if you are healthcare and serious about working in an English-speaking country, OET could be the perfect for you.
Standardized tests have a strong impact on language learning because they often determine access to academic, professional, and migration opportunities. Their effectiveness depends on how well they assess real language skills, and their validity lies in whether they truly reflect the learner's ability in authentic contexts. Throughout the course, I learned that not all tests serve the same purpose, and it is important to understand their structure, scoring, and acceptance worldwide. These topics are definitely worth learning as they help us guide others and make informed decisions when it comes to teaching or taking a language proficiency test.
In this course, I learned how important standardized tests are in language teaching. They help teachers understand how much students have learned and give clear equal results for everyone. However, I also realized that some tests don't show how well students can actually use the language in real life, like speaking or writing in real situations. What I found most useful was learning how to create tests that are clear, fair, and help students improve. I now understand that a good test should check what the students really need to know and do with the language. These topics are very helpful for my future as a teacher because they teach me how to evaluate students better and support this learning.
Now, for my personal reflection, this course has been an eye-opening experience. I have learned that standardized tests play a crucial role in language assessment. They provide a structured and objective way to evaluate language proficiency across different contexts and cultures. What I have valued most is gaining the ability to critically examine a test design and impact. This knowledge allows us, future educators, to guide students more effectively and to make informed choices about which assessment to use and how to prepare learners for them. I believe the topics covered in this course are absolutely worth learning because they're helping us shape our professional identity and commitment to quality education.
Well, as a student as a teacher in training, exploring standardized tests like TOEFL, IELTS, and Duolingo has been an eye-opening experience. These assessments are more than just tools for certification. There are benchmarks for global communication and academic mobility. And throughout this course, I've come to understand the complexity behind their design, the detailed task structure, the range of the skills assessed, and the rigorous scoring systems. That remind me that language learning goes beyond grammar and vocabulary. It is about demonstrating real-world proficiency. However, I've also reflected on their limitations, such as accessibility and the stress that they can impose on learners. And well, as summary, I've learned that standardized tests are a double-edged sword, powerful in their scope, yet flawed in their inclusivity. As a future educator, I aim to help students to navigate this test while fostering a deeper intrinsic motivation for language learning. And that's basically all.